We're live. What's up, everybody? This is Coach Stokes, Stokeshouse Boxing Academy. You got to stay ready so you ain't worry about getting ready. And we definitely are staying ready by today's special guest. I'm going to let you know who this brother is. He is world-class boxing trainer, striking specialist, has developed world champions in boxing, kickboxing, and mixed martial arts. And he is affiliated with Scrap Time Fight Club out of Simi Valley, California, is no other than Coach Bernie Hopalien.
How's it going, everybody? How's it going? It's pronounced Hopalien.
Hopalien, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Everybody pronounces it their own way.
My wife told me
Hopalien.
She told me that, brother, and
Hopalien. Yeah. No, that's okay. I got my boy Candyman. He's always at the fights. Like he's almost at every boxing match out here in California, and he calls me Hopalien, and he just keeps saying it. As many times as I correct him, he's gonna be like, "Hey, you're Bernie Hopalien."
Yeah, brother.
You know.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
The first time I saw you, Bernie, I get a lot of feed on my Instagram. So I saw you a couple of times, and next I was like, man, I started liking you. And then I started seeing the people who were liking you. And it was a lot of, well-named people, like my man King Mo, other fighters that I know of. So I was like, man, hold up, man. So now I start following you. And the way that you hold in the mitts in the past, I've never seen anybody do. So then I started following you, and then I was trying to mimic what I saw, but it quite wasn't working out. So then I was like, I got to meet this brother. And then that's when I jumped on and I messaged you, and you hit me right back, man. I was like, wow, man. I didn't even expect you to hit me back because you know what, it was what it was. But you hit me back, and to make a long story short, everybody, I end up going on there to Southern California. He opened up his house, man, and he worked with my son Diesel, man, which meant a lot, man. So, Coach, man, I just want to tell you, man, thank you, brother. And we are brothers to the end, man. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate your friendship. And what
Amen, brother. Amen. And it is truly my pleasure.
No problem.
Thank you, brother.
Could you let us know, how did it all begin, man? How did you get into boxing and combat sports?
Well, I was always good at fighting when I was a little kid. So then one day I met a really evolved martial art instructor who's my first teacher. His name is Vincent Calloway, and guy was on a whole nother level, and he told me to come at him with everything I got, and I could not touch the man. I couldn't touch him. So then, man, I was just so hungry to learn. So I just humbled myself, did everything he told me to. And this man is, I hold him credit for the coach that I am today, because it was a lot of good habits and good techniques that I learned from him coming up, and being a stickler for technique and making sure everything is perfect and aligned. And, he was just such a perfectionist, and that makes you go to a whole nother level, man, when all the details are very important. And if you just make everything come together the way it's supposed to, it's going to be awesome, and he drilled that into me, to be a stickler for technique and make it perfect. And so that's what I pass on to the people I work with today, is just make it nice,
Right. Coach, there's a lot of people that only see the glamour and glitz when it comes to boxing. They only see the hands raised, championship belt, of course, the overcoming like Rocky, which are great stories. But can you deal with, as I mentioned, world-class athletes, world-class champions? Let everybody know things you got to go through in order to get to that point, because it takes a whole lot to build somebody up and get them to that point to even just be a contender. Yeah, so you got a lot of guys out there. If somebody come up to you and it's like, Coach, I want to be like you, man, I want to build world champions, can you just be real with them and let them know the sacrifice and the lifestyle it's going to take?
Well, for both being a coach and a fighter, for instance, for fighters, if you want to be a fighter, your will has to be stronger than your mind. because there's going to be times where your mind wants to quit, but your will has to be stronger than your mind. And it takes, you have to be willing to kill yourself every day. You have to be willing to make breakthroughs every day. You're going to want to quit, but you just keep going and you make breakthroughs, and that's how you get your wind up and you're able to go 12 rounds or whatever your dream is to become a champion. It's going to just take a lot of hard work, man, a lot of dedication. And if you love this sport like I do and like so many others do, you will give it 100%. You know, if it's something that you love and something that you can't wait to wake up to the next day, something that just keeps you hungry, then you got what it takes to become a champion, man.
Thanks for that, Coach. Coach,
Yeah.
you work with world champions and contenders. Who are some of the people that you've worked with and that you're working with right now?
Well, my good friend Malik Scott, who's one of the top 10 heavyweights. He's now sparring with Deontay Wilder, getting him ready for that Tyson Fury fight. Okay. And we put together a lot of beautiful stuff, man, and a lot of great pad work and a lot of great technique that we put together. And I really enjoyed working with Malik. And then I also worked with Isaac Dogbo. I was his father's assistant, who was the head coach. And Isaac is the current WBO super bantamweight champion. Yeah. So I've had the pleasure of working corners for him. And there was times where his father would leave and go to England. I'd be in charge of him while he was here and, took care of him. And, man, this man showed me what it means to work hard, because the stuff he do, people would think he was crazy. People would say, you're doing too much. You're going to ruin the kid. Now look at him. He's a world champion because he does more than everybody else. And I don't think anybody can outwork Isaac.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, sorry, go ahead.
So he's just that serious.
Dude, the kid, he knows what he wants and he knows what to do to get it. And he's willing to work his butt off. Like, he goes beyond what any other fighter I've ever witnessed go through, the man would run, let's say, 16 miles and then go and spar, at the gym. It's like he was insane. He'd go half an hour sparring with no bell, just half an hour nonstop sparring. Everyone else doing 3-minute rounds, he going 30 minutes nonstop. Like, the stuff this kid was able to do is like, it's unheard of. You don't really see too many people like that.
Right. But you witnessed it yourself.
Witnessed it myself, and he's the current champion. His dad is a British military man, so he was really big on discipline and hard work, and he did everything for his boy to become a world champion.
Wow, big up to that mother.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful story.
And then one of my MMA fighters, Thor Skanke, was the King of the Cage champion. That was my first champion, actually. That I really got to go and work his corner and watch him win the title.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Coach. Let me ask you this, Coach. What do you have coming up? Anything coming up? I know you mentioned that you will be going overseas.
Yes. So I have a couple fights lined up for David Roberts. David Roberts is a very famous race car driver. He's a world-class driver. He just won one of the most prestigious races in the world. I watched it on CBS here at home. Won first place. He's also a 3-0 undefeated MMA fighter. And now he wants to dabble in a little boxing and give that a shot. So we're going to go out to New Zealand and get him a couple fights out there.
Wow.
Yeah.
He'll do well. He got you.
What a guy, right? I mean, he's already a millionaire. He's already a race car driver. And he came to me and wanted to fight. I told him, bro, what are you doing? You got all this money. You're doing great. You don't have to fight. But he said, call me crazy, call me whatever you want, but it's something that I have to get out of my system. So if you want to help me, let's do it. Because he was really determined. I said, well, listen, if I can't talk you out of it, then I'm going to help you as best I can. And now he's undefeated as an MMA fighter now.
He got a great coach in his corner.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Great spot. Let me ask you this. These are some of my questions that I ask, and I want to see. I already know where your IQ is at, brother, but I just want to hear some of your answers. Okay, so if you could build the perfect fighter using the attributes of offense, defense, and ring generalship or IQ,
Mm-hmm.
Who would your favorite fighters be? Who are your favorite fighters when it comes to offense, defense, and smartness?
My favorite fighters, I'd have to start with Floyd Mayweather
Mm-hmm.
Jr., Terrence Crawford.
Mm.
I think you put those two together and you got a monster. Those two are my favorites right now. And we can't forget about Lomachenko, man. Lomachenko is on a whole nother level with that footwork.
Yeah.
You know, he's amazing. He's amazing. He keeps you busy, keeps you guessing, and runs you into shots. You know?
That's a monster. That's a monster.
That's
How many people are going to actually take that fight? You have people taking it, of course, for a payday.
People just want a payday, and look, it's a win-win situation. If you win, you beat Lomachenko. If you lose, you lost against Lomachenko.
Right.
It's really there's no losing in that.
Right. You
get a fat paycheck. Now, the longer you can last, the more bragging rights you have.
Oh yeah, really. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be one for the history books. Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
you got 24 hours to live.
Mm-hmm.
24 hours to live, and you can have that one fight against. I'm talking about like coaching against anybody from past or present right now. Who would you like to go ahead and test your wits against?
Would I like to work with, like as a coach?
Work against.
To fight. Who would I want to fight?
No. Who would you like to have your fighter fight against another person's fighter? So, for example, mine would be I would like to see my wits against Emmanuel Stewart. Who's that coach, that super coach that you would love to go up against?
Super cool. Man, there's so many of them. Look, Georgie Benton.
Oh.
Georgie Benton, bro. That guy was the man.
He was.
Brilliant.
He was, and I tell everybody, they didn't give him enough credit, man. They always talk about Lou Duva. It was all the way, man.
Yeah.
He was a hell of a fighter too.
Yes, he is. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's brilliant, man. Yeah. I was hanging out with Buddy McGirt, man, and Buddy McGirt started talking about all these old coaches, and George Benton was the one he admired as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's coming from man, Buddy was nice back in his day when he great coach.
Man.
Cool guy, met him on a couple occasions, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a big ups to Buddy McGirt. You see this, big ups to you, man.
Amen. That's my brother, man. I love him dearly, bro.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, a couple more questions for you, Coach. What is your message to the world?
My message to the world, man. Be nice to each other. Be nice to each other, man, you know. Everyone goes through their own things, and try not to take out your frustration on other people, and try to treat other people the way you want to be treated. You know, all the stuff it says in the Bible, bro.
Yeah. Something as general or something as common as you know, you can say like, you know, just be nice, man. Be nice. It's so hard for people to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like common people say common sense isn't common sense anymore.
Right.
You know?
Common sense is uncommon.
Yeah, common sense is uncommon. Definitely. Yeah. Brother, man, I really appreciate it. For those who would like to stay in contact or get in contact with you or follow you, what would be your social media handles?
So Instagram at Bernie_Hopalien. Okay. That's a tough one. I'll spell it for you. It's Bernie_HOPALIAN. Hopalien.
Got you. Facebook the same?
Facebook Bernie Hopalien. Yep.
Okay. Well, those of you, if you want to see this, go to my Instagram, Stokes STOKES _boxing BOXINJING, excuse me, and then on my YouTube, Stokeshouse Boxing Academy, and my Facebook, Stokeshouse Boxing Academy as well. You tune in live today with Coach Stokes. You got to stay ready so you ain't worried about getting ready. Hey, and with my man, Coach Bernie Hopalien. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace.
Much love, brother.